You know this feeling. You see a perfect, bright red tomato at the store. It shines like something from an ad. You bring it home, take a bite, and it tastes like wet cardboard. No sweetness, no aroma, just water. Why does this happen? In this video, we uncovered the fatal mistake humans made nearly 100 years ago. You'll learn how one accidental mutation turned a fragrant fruit into a plastic prop, why farmers deliberately shut off the tomato's ability to make sugar, and, most importantly, why the refrigerator is the silent killer of flavor, and why you should never store tomatoes in it, even if you've done so your entire life.
When ugly meant high quality, let's go back to the Andes, the homeland of tomatoes. Wild tomatoes were tiny like berries and not red at all. They were yellow or green, but the flavor was explosive. When tomatoes arrived in Europe, they looked nothing like the neat balls we see today. Old varieties were ugly, bumpy, uneven, with green shoulders near the stem. They ripened unevenly, red on the sides, green at the top. But this imperfection was a mark of quality. A green shoulder meant the fruit was busy producing sugar and aroma inside.
The seller's war on flavor. In the early 20th century, the tomato stopped being food from the garden and became merchandise on a shelf. Huge farms and trucks appeared. Sellers stopped caring about taste. They needed tomatoes that were hard as stones, so they wouldn't bruise in transport, and identical like soldiers, so they could be packed easily. Breeders started selecting only the highest yield and largest plants, and even then it was known, the bigger the tomato, the less sugar it contains. But the market voted for size. Flavor lost battle after battle, pushed aside by beautiful appearance.
The fatal mistake of 1930. A dramatic twist happened in 1930. At a research station in North Dakota, breeders discovered a unique tomato plant called All Red. Its fruits ripened perfectly evenly, without the iconic green shoulders. The tomato looked flawless, like it was spray painted. Farmers were thrilled. This accidental mutation, called uniform ripening, became the new gold standard. No one tasted it. They were blinded by how perfect it looked. The gene was inserted into nearly every commercial variety, not knowing they were making a catastrophic mistake.
How we turned off the sugar. What did this beauty gene do? Scientists only uncovered the truth recently. The mutation destroyed the GLK2 gene. Normally, this gene runs the chloroplasts, tiny green factories that capture sunlight and turn it into sugar. Old varieties had these factories working at full power, especially in the green tops. But in modern pretty tomatoes, we turned them off just to get an even color. The result? The fruit looks ripe, but contains 20% less sugar. We literally traded flavor for a pretty skin. Missing pieces of the puzzle. But the problem isn't just one gene. When scientists compared the DNA of wild and commercial tomatoes, they were horrified. We've lost thousands of genes. Decades of selecting only for size and shelf life caused breeders to accidentally delete crucial genetic fragments. For example, the Tom Locks C gene, responsible for that signature tomato aroma, almost disappeared. It's like packing your suitcase for vacation and tossing out your medicine kit and favorite book to make room for a brick. The brick is sturdy and reliable, but brings absolutely no joy. An orchestra with no instruments. We think flavor is just sugar and acid, but the true tomato experience comes from volatile aromatic compounds, more than 25 of them. Some smell like grass, others like flowers, fruit, or spice. This cocktail is what your brain interprets as delicious tomato. In wild tomatoes, these aromas are intense. In store-bought ones, they're nearly gone. Scientists say modern tomatoes are like a symphony orchestra where all violins and flutes were fired, leaving only the drums. There's noise, but no music. The fridge is the taste killer. Even if you manage to find a variety with decent genetics, logistics will finish it off. Tomatoes are a southern plant. They hate the cold. But trucks and storage facilities are giant refrigerators. Once the temperature drops below 12 degrees Celsius or 54 degrees Fahrenheit, a catastrophe unfolds inside the tomato. Cell membranes break down, and the production of aroma compounds shuts down permanently. This cannot be reversed. Even if you warm it up at home, the flavor won't come back. What you get on your plate is a polite vegetable. It looks fine, but inside it's already dead.
Hunting for the lost flavor. Is there hope? Yes. Scientists today work like detectives, analyzing the DNA of old heirloom varieties to locate and restore lost genes. They even use genome editing tools like CRISPR to switch sugar production genes back on without hurting yield. We already know how to release the genetic brakes that prevent sweetness from forming, but the market stands in the way. Stores still demand beautiful and durable, not delicate and flavorful. As long as we buy with our eyes, no revolution will happen.
What can we do? This story is a lesson for all of us. Cardboard flavor is the price we paid for convenience and perfect appearance. We taught the market that tomatoes must be round and red like billiard balls. What to do? Look for ugly heirloom varieties. Buy from local farmers in season, and never, ever put tomatoes in the fridge. The story of the supermarket tomato proves, in the pursuit of perfection, you can lose the very essence, but flavor can return if we start voting with our wallets for substance, not for appearance.